Well, it's a very special day for snooker fans, for sports fans. After a week of qualifying, Neil, we're finally here. Day one, last 32 at the York Barbican.
Yeah, the first day here at York. The qualifiers were up down in Leicester. So, yeah, look, it's the first day, if you like, of the Triple Crown season, if you can call any of it that. There's been a lot of snooker play, but there is something special about this event. It's an old event, and it's one of the best still in the world.
There's a great feeling in here, that excitement, you know, anticipation. And how about the last two finalists drawn against each other, Ding and Allen?
I know, isn't that unbelievable? How have they drawn against each other when you think about it? You know, it's quite a surprise, given that Ding got to the final last year, that he had to qualify this year. But that's the situation we're in. You know, they're playing in round one. It all makes for great fun for us.
And with Mark Allen, maybe a fortnight ago, he might not have had the same confidence he'll have after winning the Champion of Champions.
I think so. I mean, he hadn't really done a lot in the ranking events to date. It's even in Belfast, he went out horribly, but he just won the Champion of Champions and he dismantled Judd Trump in the final. So what more can you do than that?
And I hear behind the scenes, backstage, that Ding has been feeling very well. So fingers crossed he's be able to bring the best of his game today.
Beware the injured snooker player or ill. Doesn't always mean it's going to be a bad thing. Mark Williams last year wasn't great when he kept going off. Hopefully he's not in that kind of condition. Don't rule him out if he's not feeling well. It's not the most physical of sports.
Well, I was just getting on to Mark Williams, and that was a perfect segue of what happened to him last year. His match obviously interrupted with toilet breaks, but he's playing Fan Zhengyi on table 2. A very interesting match. Fan Zhengyi's beaten Ronnie O'Sullivan in the final. He made his debut at the World Championship this year already. Yeah. He's a very hard player to predict.
He's a hard player to weigh up. I mean, very few players who won a ranking event, which he has, beaten O'Sullivan in the final, are still a mystery. But it's a slight mystery to us all, really, because, you know, he had this thing, he'd never made a century, he didn't want to make one until he made a big one, and then he won the ranking event. Since then, he's been a bit in and out. He's kind of almost on a rebuilding process, but he's a right good player, and he's cues under one eye, and he pots everything. So I don't think Mark Williams is a certainty there, and I'm not sure if he knows what to expect from Fan Zhengyi.
OK, well, the action will be getting underway shortly. Your two winners, very quickly.
I think Mark Williams will win, and I think that Mark Allen, the two marks.
OK, the two marks. Thank you so much. It's brilliant to be back here in York, and what a day we have in prospect here at the snooker.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Neil. By the way, we're now just less than 5 minutes into the players' walk out. Interestingly, just behind us here, Mark Allen has not left the practice table once. It's gotten a lot quieter. It's gotten a lot more intense. And on that, let's hear from Mark now.
What are your earliest memories of the UK Championships?
Oh, UK. I'm not like a snooker geek. I love the game, but I'm not a traditionalist. Like if Jordan Brown was sitting here, he'd tell you every scoreline since 1922 or something, and what day it was. But I honestly don't know. For me personally, the very first year I played, I had a lot of support over from back home. I lost to the Nugget the year he went on to get to the final against Ding, and that was fond memories for me, playing one of the all-time greats, you know, one of my earliest matches as a pro. So yeah, from a spectator point, I'm not really sure. That sounds really bad, but yeah, getting to play the Nugget there was something special, even though I lost that game. York's one of my favourite events. The city's beautiful, obviously, with the markets and stuff for Christmas, and the hotels are good. Everyone's involved in the snooker. For me, and I've said it before, whenever Barry changed it from best of 17 to best of 11, I feel like he lost a little bit of that history. That was a shame, because we don't get to play a lot of long matches nowadays. But the changes World Snooker made last season, with the two tables set up, only 32 players there, it felt like a proper event again. The only thing I would maybe say was try and get a bit more longer matches, but yeah, it was something back to its best again.
And in it goes, Mark Allen, the player of the season, has produced a stunning comeback to win the UK Championship for the first time.
Would you say, obviously, with the way the format's changed as well, that now you've got to the final and you've won, would you say it's harder to get to that point in the tournament, or would you say it's, you know, the structure kind of makes it a bit easier?
You could say one way or the other, to be honest, because if you go the other way, like it used to be, you have 2 extra matches, but on paper, they were matches you were big favourite to win. But as we've seen over the years, you know, there was always a few shocks here and there. The 4-table setup and then the room out the back wasn't really very fun, especially if you were out the back, it wasn't great. So I think what they've done now is much better.
Mark looks cool, calm and collected, it's safe to say. Ronnie, how do you assess his season so far?
Yeah, I think he's had a pretty good season, you know. Quarterfinals, won other events in China, won the Champions of Champions just recently. Yeah, if you're comparing it to last season, then obviously you'd say not great. But if you compare it to the previous seasons, you say he's ahead of the game, you know. So in some ways you have to disregard last season because that was a phenomenal season by anybody's standards. So, you know, I think he's definitely in a good place with his game, you know.
Jim, when you see archive of Mark, you see a very different physique just a few years ago. Since that weight loss, he seems like a different guy.
Yeah, he's obviously a lot more fitter. You know, he can get more comfortable on the shot. Now he's lost all the weight. But for me, Mark Allen believes he's the best player in the world, which you have to believe if you're going to win. You know, the guys who win all these tournaments regular do think they're the best players in the world. And he's got a very good tactical game. And last season, I think he started to slow up a little bit. He was still winning, but during the Champion of Champions, he speeded up and he's scoring heavy. So for me, that means he's really happy with every part of his game. And he's a good winner. You know, he's got great self-belief and he's a big favourite for this match, I think, today.
Which is an interesting point, Jim, because actually in their head-to-head, it doesn't work as you maybe would have thought. So they've competed 16 times in terms of ranking events, and it's actually Junhui who leads it 10-6. We remember how good that final was, but a little bit of an update is that Junhui is very much under the weather, so we don't know which Junhui would be turning up. Rob Walker made the draw a few days ago, and when it was, Mark will be facing seed 17, you're thinking, oh my goodness, who is it? It's Junhui. So we're in for a treat, but not necessarily Ding at 100%, Ron.
Yeah, I know he seems to be a little bit under the weather, but I think, you know, that shouldn't really matter when you go out there and play. Hopefully he's well enough to, you know, put on some kind of performance in some way. It may take the pressure off him. He might think, you know, I don't really expect myself to do well here today, and you never know, the pressure might be off him and he might come out the blocks early, get a good start, and then all of a sudden he's in a good position to win the match.
Also, very quickly, Jim, Mark Williams mentioned in Rachel's interview how ill he was this time last year.
Yeah.
He wasn't even wearing underpants by the time he was finished that match.
We don't want to go through that again.
That's what he said.
Stressful. No, Mark. You know, Mark's playing on the other table. You know, he's obviously a contender to win the tournament as well. You know, he's that good. But going back to Ding, you know, is it easy to erase that memory of last year of being 6-1 up? All of a sudden you're back at York. Will that sort of memory come back? You know, because that was a huge loss for him last year, being that far in front in a final.
Rachel and Neil made a really interesting point about Mark Williams. They said that he was very unpredictable. You don't know which Willow's going to turn up. He could go and just win this and just pump everyone, or he could go out in the first round.
Yeah, I think Mark's been probably one of the most consistent players, though, for a long, long time, maybe 4 or 5 years now, since he won that World Championships at that year. He started working with Sightright, and he's been very, very consistent, you know. And even when he doesn't win, he still looks like he's playing well, you know. So, you know, he's a class player. You see, he won that tournament early on in the season, so it's never a surprise when he wins. But standard is so hard, you know. He could come out today, Feng Zhenji could play an amazing game, and he's going home. You know, that's the difficult part. You can still play well, and the other guy plays a blinder, which a lot of them do nowadays. You know, you're just not going to win.
We're not sure how it's going to go, which is possibly what makes it so exciting and why we absolutely love the UK Snooker Championship. 18 winners since it began back in 1977. But who will be the 2023 champion? We'll begin off with the first match.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. There's a month before Christmas. We're in York, and this is the world-famous Barbican Theatre. It can mean only one thing. It's time for the televised stages of this year's Mr. Q UK Championship. Please welcome last year's European Masters champion, one of the most exciting young Chinese players on the circuit. 2 quarterfinals this season, and this is his first appearance in the last 32 of the UK champs. So come on, York, give it up for Fan Zhengyi. And now to a man twice his opponent's age. The years are advancing, the hairline is receding, but the talent remains, as he proved with his 25th ranking title at the British Open last month, the one and only Mark J. Williams. On table one, here comes a three-time UK champion and last year's runner-up. A 14-time ranking event winner whose achievements have sparked a generation of players and fans back home in China. Enter the Dragon, Junhui. And finally, to last season's Player of the Year. He produced his break-building best in Bolton this month to produce a second Champion of Champions title. And what a comeback 12 months ago to land the big one here. Here comes the reigning, defending UK champion, Mark the Pistol Allen.
All the best, Mark. Okay.
We are sport for choice on day one of the UK Snooker Championship 2023. 3 out of the 4 players on the 2 tables have lifted the title before, but who will do it this time? It's time to find out as we hand to our commentary team of Alan McManus and Dave Hendon.
Okay. Thank you. The first frame.
Good afternoon, Hazel. Good afternoon, everyone. And well, New York, incredible that these.
Ronnie, sorry.
Can you hear him at all?
It's just out of vision. Jimmy stepped out, so it will just be run through Ronnie for the moment. Sorry, we're just going to commentate on the match because lost commentary.
We just had a slight technical issue with our commentary team there, but it means it's the perfect opportunity to speak to Ronnie about the action that we've seen so far and possibly how both players will be feeling. So we know Ding Junhui is under the weather. When you're going out to a tournament with, and you know Ding well, and you know China well, the expectation that's on his shoulders every time he goes out, it must be tough.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, there's a nation there that support him and want to see him do well. And I think he's carried it really well over the years. You know, he's done brilliant titles. He does well. He's won a lot of big titles in China, so I think he handles that side of it really well, really.
Yeah, he does indeed. It was a really strong long red to the bottom left pocket. Something that seems to have changed a little bit in Mark Allen's game is if you compare him to maybe a few years ago, he was really good in amongst the black, but his long putting seems to have changed a fair bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been a very, very good all-round player. I think he's got a very good temperament, very good will to win, very good under pressure. You know, not scared of the big occasions. So, he's just a very, very good all-round player now. You know,
Jim, this is going back a little bit now, but exactly 30 years ago, when they announced you coming out to the UK Snooker Championship as the reigning UK champion, what does that mean for you as a player?
Say that again, Reg. Listen, it's an amazing tournament to win. And when I won in the final, it was over 2 days. And the first round matches were best of 17. So, the best players sort of won. And they've shortened it a bit. And, I'm glad that the final's still best of 19. I think 17 now is beginning a bit short for finals. But, it's an event that every player wants to win. Ronnie's won it 7 times, It's like... It's difficult to keep it going, over the amount of time you have to do to win it. But Mark Allen, as Ronnie said, he's a complete player. He's got everything.
OK, Jim, most people listening and watching this now are big snooker fans, so we can be excused for getting a little bit niche and nerdy here. So you mentioned for you the matches should be a little bit longer, especially the final. What is that about for you?
30.
Well, because, the World Championships is best of 19 first round. Hopefully that will never be changed. And the final, best of 35. These are... The Masters is... you have to be in the top 16. It's like every match is like a final. And, I just think that these top tournaments should be played... I think the first round should be 17, I know it's quite difficult with... TV and so many players, but you do get the best players win for me, and I think that especially the UK and the World Championships, they shouldn't change it.
Ron, what does it do to you mentally trying to play in those sort of marathon tournaments
19.
when you are going deep in them?
yeah, they can be tough. Two sessions isn't too bad, but when you start playing 3 and 4 sessions, that's it's a very, very long game from start to finish. But best of 17 is quite a nice race, but I get why they do best of 11s, because they just want a result sometimes, when there isn't a result, they kind of feel like they've lost out on something. So, yeah, I get what Jimmy's saying. I do think the longer matches, you definitely get the better players coming through winning more often than not.
But I've heard Ronnie say when he's won the World Championships, that he could go again and do it, because you get into a groove, and it definitely takes a bit out of you, but when you're winning, you just go into a zone, and at the moment, Mark Allen's in that zone. I think he might be putting the red in the middle there. Oh, no, got away with it.
Beautiful cannon there. Is he a little bit unlucky, or
no, it's perfect. I think he can chip that in, Ron, can't he?
He's been quite lucky there, because going into the pack from that angle, the white could go there, and he's got lucky where the white's landed, the red's over the middle, so I think he's got a good result there, really. He didn't get the black great to go into the pack.
Ron, how long does it take for your nerves to kind of settle when you're going out there?
He'll be settled now. Once he's got in there, he's on a 30 break, start putting a few balls, you feel fine, but obviously first match of the tournament, you are a little bit nervous when you go out there, you just don't want to get beat in the first round, especially as the defending champion, you just want to experience what you experienced last year. Another nice little nudge there, just putting the yellow over the
how would you be? You couldn't put
red
that
over the middle, he'll be feeling great now.
See, with them 2 nice nudges there, this frame's over, I think, already, and that could have gone. So that happens, though. When you're in form, when you're winning, playing well, you do get a bit of run.
Looking at Ding there, he's looking like the weight of the world slightly on his shoulders there, or is the weight of the world currently in his gut? We don't know, Jim.
No, he's apparently he's not feeling too good. But as Ron said, that might take the pressure off of him a bit, and he might just sort of loosen up a bit. Not thinking that it doesn't really matter because I don't feel good. But he looks like he's definitely going 1-0 behind.
Jim, when you were here last year, we mentioned Mark Allen walked out of the practice room maybe 3 minutes before the match started. How long were you here for?
Well, a lot of players, like to keep it going, and they have sort of a ritual. I think Mark Allen's one of these players who does go straight from the practice table into the match. Some players don't do it. I don't think Ronnie does it.
42.
But it depends on your preference and what's happening. And, you know, you've got sometimes when you're winning, you try and keep the same format going of every part of the game. And, you know, for sure, he's hitting the ball great.
Ron, what happens if the table in the practice room is different to the actual playing table itself out there? And you've been doing what Mark Allen does. Is that even a factor, or is he just used to that?
I think there won't be that much difference in there. Might play a little bit different, but yeah, I mean, if the conditions are that different, then yeah, it can play around with your technique and the way you're maybe overhitting the ball, underhitting the ball. But usually, you know, when you play at certain venues, you know that the match tables play a certain way anyway. So yeah, it shouldn't really make much of a difference.
Jim, if we want to get super niche again, so 5 venues the UK's have been at. Started in Blackpool, it's been in Telford, here, Preston. There's one other one I'm missing. For you, where's been the #1 venue for the UK's?
The Guildhall. You know, this one is a fantastic venue. I think it's the last year next year, so I'm not sure where it's going to go after that. But the Guildhall was very special. But I think the UK, I think sort of once you get here, and because of the event, such a high-profile Triple Crown, you know, I think the players don't really care. They just want to try and win the tournament. You know, they do have their, like, York is such a great city, especially at Christmas time, you know, there's nice restaurants and all that. But the event sort of overtakes where it is, you know, it's you know, hopefully, you know, I'm not sure. If it stays here, people will be happy with it. If it went back to the Guildhall, which I've heard it's been refurbished, that'd be another great place to play.
It's also produced some amazing magic. I was thinking about just 2 years ago when the final was Brissell, Zhao Tong, and then Brissell then goes on off the back of that to become world champion. 61. So almost your career can start at a place like this if you get confidence, if it goes well, because before then, we weren't really talking about Luca Brissell as a real contender.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's such a big tournament. I think if you do have a good run here, you're going to win it, get to the final, it just gives you that belief. I think you can. And like we say, when Brissell was done well in that tournament, I think he was about 40-odd in the world at the time. So I think from that moment onwards, he just became just a different player. You know, just a better all-round player, more confidence. Yeah, just settles a bit easier, you know.
67.
Is there a sense of familiarity that if you are used to winning, which Mark Allen is getting used to winning now, that you turn up to a tournament and you think to yourself, I fancy this rather than I need to win this for my ranking or my 1 year or whatever it might be?
Well, you know, we talked earlier on about Neil Robertson. He's really struggling with form and that, you know, and this is the type of tournament that can get your season back on track, you know, going into, we've got Scottish home nations and then we've got the Masters. So we're looking forward. But, you know, as for Mark Allen, you know, he's just so happy in his game. Every part of his game is solid, his safety. We always talk about how good his positional players, and you mentioned his long potting's back. So, you know, he's got to be one of the favourites for the tournament.
He took something off you here, Ron, because he likes to get the old hot mugs out. You were the first person I ever saw do that kind of thing to keep the hands warm.
Yeah, it's hard when you go out there and your hands are freezing because it's all touch and feel in the hand. So yes, cup of hot water just does the job, you know.
Yeah, an intriguing first frame, like Jim said, could have potentially gone either way, but the first one on the board is for Mark Allen. And for Junhui, he hasn't been, almost, in fact, you've had 2 different stories, Jim, where you have Mark Allen, the last couple of years, a real resurgence, and things seems to have tailed off by comparison to the player we know he can be.
Yeah, he is struggling for form, and he's one of these players that he's a heavy scorer. When he gets in the balls, he wins a lot of frame in one visits, and that's not been happening for him, so far this season. So, you know, he needs to get going quite early in this match to settle. But look at Mark Allen there, totally focused, you know. Fancies the job for sure.
He does not give a lot away, it has to be said. That back when he was 6-1 down against Ding, actually we were thinking to ourselves, you know, is this going to be close to a whitewash? And then just the incredible happened. The referee is just speaking to Mark. Curious to know what is actually happening. but we can establish what's happening by handing back to our commentary team once again and say good afternoon to Alan McManus and Dave Hendon.
Yes, thank you, Rads. It's a big afternoon here, and hopefully you can hear us loud and clear now. Mark Allen off to a terrific start. Yeah, Rob Spencer just can't quite hear what he's saying. He's spoken to both players, but anyway, Mark Allen just sort of picking up where he left off from last year with that terrific 67. Very clean start. Of course, he comes here full of confidence, having just won the Champion of Champions, and all the memories as well. I'm sure walking into the Barbican today just came flooding back from last year. Not just the final, but the whole run that he was on here. Had that dramatic semi-final win, didn't he, over Jack Lazowski as well. So good memories and a good start. And Ding, of course, who's battled through the qualifiers. We heard he's a little under the weather, but he's also up against someone who's just won the last tournament who's feeling really good about his own game. I think he found the right balance in Bolton, the Champion of Champions. He maybe, as the season went on, just played the grinding game a little more than the attacking game, and he got caught up in that epic semi-final, of course, with Mark Selby at the Crucible. But in Bolton, he was on the front foot. He looked really good. And, you know, he beat Judd Trump, who has been the player of the season thus far, 10-3. So a real thumping victory.
Yeah, Mark has clearly embraced the tactical side of the game in the last 2 or 3 seasons. Something that you have to do, I think, these days if you're going to be a top player, be around the top of the rankings for any length of time. It's all part of it. And that's a poor one by Ding, so another, well, probably better than half chance for Mark.
Whoa.
Yeah, once again, good crisp pot. And lots of reds in the open.
Of course, we're back to this format. It was reintroduced last year, the tiered system. There's been various formats. But looking back at all of them, he hasn't actually lost his first match in the UK Championship since 2012. So 11 years since he actually lost his opening round match, whatever the format. Obviously, players want to win every tournament, but there is something about these historic majors they've grown up watching that maybe they just put in a little bit more preparation. He visited a local primary school yesterday, actually, went to see the youngsters there to sort of spread the snooker word, which was great to see.
Six.
Yeah, making good use of the brand new cloth there, getting lots of revs on the cue ball. Key shot, this. Yeah, nicely played. After that season, player of the season last campaign. I don't think he played as well as he did in that Champion of Champions victory a couple of weeks ago. It was as good as I've seen him in a long, long time, including the whole of last season.
14.
Just a word on the qualifiers. I was down in Leicester for the last 4 days. It was very dramatic. We had 80 centuries over the course of just 6 days play, including a maximum from Junhui, so that will count towards the £15,000 high break prize.
That's one area that's changed in Mark's game. He didn't go into the
90.
main cluster of reds. If he's still on this, he's a wee bit fortunate, but how does he control the cue ball?
20.
Yeah, that'll do nicely. Just a bit of noise there, bang of a chair or something on his delivery. Didn't quite get through at that time. It's one of those ones he would love it again. Of the shot back and get the cue ball motoring down this end. So yeah, I think the one with the rest positionally has got a bit more to offer. Far from easy, but as long as he gets the pot, he's in complete control of the early running. Get the pot, whatever will be, will be.
That's one. Okay. 24. That's one.
Has he got enough room to get the cue through the gap? Just about. Not a lot to do with the cue ball either.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of admirable qualities as a player, but no doubt bottle, he's right up there. The big shots he doesn't shrink from. And now he's got himself back in pretty good position here. And Ding has just been a spectator so far, hasn't he?
32.
Remember, it is 10-6 to Ding on the head-to-head. He did beat Allen last season in a double session match at the Tour Championship, 10-5. That was at a time when Allen's form had just faded a little as the season went on. I must say it is great to see a full house here on day one. It's only 3 years, isn't it, since we played in lockdown with not a single spectator. That eerie late night final, 1 AM, Robertson and Trump, and that applause button and all of that, thankfully consigned to history.
He's loving this cloth. Look at that cue ball. I mean, even there, just a soft screw shot. You could see the cue ball arc. It's that time of year, and we always kind of talk about it. We're now into the deep of winter in the UK, but it suits these players in terms of the way tables play. There again, it just glides on and on. It's all about Yes, the pot, but cue ball looks like it's gone into those two reds, the full face off them, off a cushion. Well,
Mark Allen.
First mistake then.
46.
What's Ding got for us? Decent chance this. Yes, he's been frozen out. See how smoothly he can cue this straight red to corner. Not a good sign. Hit right across that one. He's got this thing that, now isn't he? Think, see it here, sort of pushes the cue ball to the right as we see it. But he's got this thing, he looks down about things very early in matches these days.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk at the qualifiers, understandably, about the fact the guys coming through will be red hot, raring to go, matches under their belt. But it's just a very different environment playing in that full table setup. You know, not a lot of spectators, to coming here against the real big guns. And we'll see, obviously, as the 4 days go on in the first round, how many of the top 16 do make progress.
It's the shot that Ding played there. He's offered this half chance again for Mark. He needn't have had to play that. That was a sign of impatience. Ding there should have gone side cushion and rest on that red. He's given Mark a chance absolutely for free here. No reason for it. That's not a good sign if you're a Ding fan.
Well, again, this pace at the table is catching him out.
4.
Just to say, actually, I was looking back at some of the records. I don't know if two players have ever played back-to-back matches in the UK at the same venue. Of course, this was the final last year. I could find one that was the
Mark Allen 4.
1979 final of the Masters, actually. It was Perry Mans against Alex Higgins, and then they played the following year in the first round at the Masters. I don't know if that's the only one. The only thing I would say, there were a couple of prelim matches, so it wasn't the first match in the year after they played in the final.
Yeah, the draw was made on Thursday by Stephen Hallworth and Leo Scullion. And there was just we were all talking beforehand, oh yeah, Allen or draw Ding. It just kind of almost was meant to be. And here we are, but at the moment, Allen looking really good and Ding has done nothing yet, really, in a frame and a half.
Yeah, it was a bit risky by Mark, wasn't it? Trusting in the table fitters. Of course, day one, these tables have probably been in situ for 48 hours, something like that, so they haven't quite settled as yet. I say settled, of course, I actually mean literally settling. That's what, it takes time for. A great starter by Ding. Takes time with gravity and all that, the tables just to settle in, the slates to bed into the wooden frame, all that stuff. But certainly the bed of the cloth looks beautiful. Now, what has he got as far as a red? Just a red to far corner.
8. Junhui 8.
Well, he should be sharp on the back of qualifying this last week, but he doesn't look it at the moment.
See Mark Allen concerned that he left the gap, which he has. And that's brilliant.
Yeah, terrific pot, responsive cloth, but I don't think even on this one he can slice the black in and any sort of contact on the red. Let's see. Nah, it was just medicine kind of time. He knew he couldn't get on the red, so in the break, but he's got some foothold at last in a frame.
8. Junhui 8.
That will not do. That ain't good enough, I'm afraid. That he did
Quiet
it
as possible,
early
please.
on in this frame. He left the safety shot shy, well shy of the baulk cushion, and Mark picked him off. It's not good enough at the moment by Ding. He's got to find deep baulk, otherwise this will happen.
1.
Yeah, Ding knows Allen has to earn his chances. He can't be handed them. He's in too good form in general. Super confident coming here. See all the faces there on the background, the top 16 seeds. Zhang Ander's one of them. Of course, he beat Ding at the International Championship, won the tournament. That's why Ding got knocked out of the top 16 and had to qualify in the first place.
Eight.
Yeah, so once again end of break, but he just looks more in tune with what he's trying to achieve out there in comparison with Ding. It's 2 or 3 times now he's been in that sort of position. Make sure you get the pot and stay in some control of the table. It's not very good though. His defence has been watertight of late. That wasn't.
No, and he will have, of course, seen up close how Ding struggled so far. Again, he wants to keep him in trouble, not open any doors. It's only early in the match, but these early frames can define how the match will go. And Ding has got a sort of reputation sometimes for his head going down early if things aren't going well.
Yeah, Mark smartly just buying himself another shot here. Or he thinks he is. He didn't mean to leave the possible red. But I do think also, a few shots that Ding's played here, the last 2 pots he's missed them thick. That's the miss on a brand new cloth. This is brand new threads they're on. And that's the typical miss. There's part of this game where as a top player you go out there knowing you're playing on a brand new cloth. You've got to be mindful of it. It's as if he's gone out there not really thinking deeply about it. You've got to do that. The cloth plays so different. For the first couple of frames, it's really alien to them. You know, even these guys, they only get their own tables covered 2, 3, maybe 4 times maximum in a year. There's another one, the thick miss. What damage? This time he's got a good chance. Got to make hay here.
Yes, it's not quite now or never, but if he doesn't take this chance, then you do slightly fear for him early in this match. He played really nicely in those qualifiers. He had 3 centuries. Beat Daniel Wells and Robbie Williams to get here.
Well.
And remember, just one subplot as well, this is the cut-off for the Masters. Now, Ding, by qualifying, has actually gone back into 16th place, above Tom Ford, who is a seed. He's not guaranteed his points unless he wins a match. So that's another thing. You won't be thinking of it now, but it's in the background here.
And straight away, he's lost his cue ball from the absolute perfect position. He's lost this cue ball again, so... And the shoulders drooped, and as did the head.
8.
Good recovery. Now, has he got the cue power to go deep and get this cue ball making the journey? Not bad. The fact that he can play this with hand.
15.
Be mindful here, making use of the brand new cloth, the slippy knuckles on the pockets, just dead weight. The typical miss here would be thick. Yeah, good shot. Taking these nicely. This is the one. Let's see how precise he can get his cue ball here. Anything around straight in the yellow, it should be job done.
Well, for a frame and a half, he did nothing really. Mark Allen had just struggled with the pace of the table a little bit. Not in the first frame, funnily enough, but in the second, he's just been losing his way a little bit.
25.
And this now must make clearance for Ding to arrive in this match.
$28. $32.
All eyes on him in this back Barbican. He needs 3 colours for 1 each.
37.
I honestly think he's really struggling. His action hasn't been what you would like to see so far. He's got to somehow get this finished. He's struggling with his cue ball.
43.
Yeah. By no means ideal on this.
Had the same shot, didn't he? To win against Zhang Anda to the opposite pocket last week. Can he do it again?
The black is in. That's all that matters in the end. It could have been 2-0. Mark Allen had a lot of chances in that frame, but Ding Junhui joins battle with that 50 clearance. It's 1 each.
Thank you. The third frame. Ding Junhui to break.
So Ding on the scoreboard, 1 each. Remember, this is best of 11 to reach the last 16 of the UK Championship.
Thanks.
Yeah, no cause for alarm. It should be a straightforward one cushion into the side of the cluster.
Yeah, I'm sure Alan will be aware that traditionally this is where Ding comes good, this tournament. He won it for the first time as an 18-year-old in 2005. He won it again in 2009 and then a decade on, 2019, in what was a terrific final with Steve Maguire.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, top quality that. It's unlucky to leave that gap, isn't it? Just see how confidently Ding can strike this. He's been short with a few of these shots so far. He's kind of a wee bit short again. I think that's something, that, especially early on in matches, that every player's got to be aware of. The cushion's play soft. You've got to be a wee bit more forceful with your cue ball. See there, Mark, he's injecting more pace in it, so it's the cue ball's going to make the journey. He's got the upper hand just at the moment. Ding, I think, just looks a wee bit tentative.
Yeah, we know he's no mug, but he likes to keep his hands warm with that hot water.
That's better pace. You've got to reach bulk, get it into bulk. Even if it comes off the cushion, that's fine. Sometimes you get rewarded for that. Make sure you're on the heavy side of the safety shot. Giving Mark a bit of a problem. It feels like Mark Allen's the strong favourite today, but actually Ding's had a better season, hasn't he, than Mark, if you take away that Champion of Champions victory. Big match this for Mark, in terms of that one-year list, the Grand Prix and all that goes with it, and there's a mistake.
And a miss.
And quite a bad one. Number 30 at the moment, isn't he, Mark Allen, on that? So £15,000 at stake, pounds and points today. So it's a big match on that score.
Yeah, it's another subplot, isn't it? That player series looming into view. A lot of things to keep the players on their toes these days. All about winning matches. Now, Ding could have been 2-0 down quite easily, but chance here to get going at the start of frame 3.
One. Six. Seven.
If there's one shot that Ding looks a wee bit suspect these days, it's this one. A bit of pace.
12.
Mid-distance red, and got to work the cue ball.
$13.
The delivery's a bit quicker than it ever was, wasn't it? But a good pot, good cue ball.
$18. $90.
Well, everyone revels in Ding's break building ability. He's actually 8th on the all-time list of Centurions, 632 to his name. Obviously the black out of the picture right now. Pink not great either.
24. $25.
Again, just a bit quick on delivery. And that ain't the bad shot there. It's the one before it where he lost his cue ball, and it's not like him. All right, as Dave said, pink no good, black out of commission, but it was a decent chance that to put a huge dent in this frame.
Yeah, and now the blues run into the reds as well, so that doesn't really help anybody. Mark Allen might be able to open things here.
Cheers, Mark. Thanks. One.
Yeah, that looked all bad as the cue ball made its way to that corner, but there you see the angle on the green. It's not bad at all. One good pot, automatically going to be on reds.
It's kind of what I was saying earlier about if there's a big shot to play, Mark Allen will play it and usually get it. You know, his temperament is a big, big part, of course, of his success. As indeed his close cue ball control, which will be a plus here if he can now put a decent sized break together.
Yeah, he has a plant on as well if he wants it.
So. $11. $60. $17.
That's the difference at the moment. Yeah, I guess he's sort of trailing in the match, as it were, Mark, at the moment, but he looks the stronger of the two by a distance, in my opinion. Cue ball is far superior to what Ding's showing us at the moment.
$22. $23.
You'd think this is worth a gamble, isn't it, the three reds? Great shot, great shot. That was the value. Got his reward for playing the correct shot, basically.
28.
Far from out the woods, but at least he's got some control of the frame now.
$29.
And again, a mini gamble. And I think that was a good play as well. It was worth it. Just trying to make something happen, spring all three of those into the open, but yeah, worth a play at this as well. Difficult to play an aggressive safety shot. I might as well take the pot on. Brilliant.
$34. $35.
Yeah, it might be worth just holding
Quiet
the
as
spot.
you can, please.
Just hold the spot, put it on the black spot, would probably help him. The blue, that is.
$40. 41. $46.
Yeah, terrific work on the cue ball. Now, he might have some value in playing the pot here, dead weight, and just think about putting Ding in trouble. Dead weight red has probably got cover in or over. It's one of those, actually, as long as the in-off in the right corner's not on, I think this is worth playing. It's actually one of those. If he were to miss it and hang the red over the pocket and get covered, Ding's in all sorts of trouble. Just looking at it now, is it worth the play? It just depends on his cue ball. If he can get his cue ball deep in that corner, that's the shot. The pot doesn't become all that important, actually. Good shot.
47.
And now he's in total control.
Brown ball, thank you. Mark Allen, 47.
He's annoyed at that one. He could have got Ding in quite big trouble, but wasn't to be. It's all going to come down to this last red now. That's the problem with the last shot Alan played now. He's given Ding the chance to put him in a snooker.
Yeah, I just don't know why he didn't roll up to the brown. Not dead weight, but just the right half of the brown. The blue was a guaranteed cover. Yeah. Now there's no great safety shot from this, so this is a half chance for Ding. Most early on day one, pockets playing, you would think, a wee bit easier. So this has got potential.
One.
Well, can he make another steal? He took the last frame, of course, on the black. Callum was in complete control of this frame, wasn't it, until the break ended and he played that back safety.
10.
Yeah, it's even better, the brown, where it is. You'd think it would be guaranteed nice on blue. And no major problem
30.
getting in behind the pink. It's a huge target.
$17. 22.
Well, there's no doubt that it's the close frames that make the psychological difference in matches. Ding won the second on the black. He needs this pink to take the lead. In all the way. Well, it could easily have been 3-0 to Mark Allen. He was in control of the last frame, he was in control of this frame, but they've both gone to Ding, who edges in front with 1 to play before the interval at 2-1. Well, Mark Allen has scored 53 more points in this match, but he's 2-1 down because Ding has stolen a frame on the black and 1 on the pink to lead 2-1. There's 1 more frame to come before the mid-session interval on day 1 here at a packed Barbican Centre in York. You can see people taking their seats. They don't want to miss any of the action, and I'm sure it'll be like this the whole week. But Mark Allen, as I say, he looked in control of frame 2, he looked in control of frame 3, but he's gone behind here. Credit to Ding for the 2 little dishes he made. Mark's just going to replenish his hot water, I think.
Yeah, sorry, Dave, just thinking back to that Champion of Champions final, he was 3-1 in front. He could easily have been 3-1 behind, couldn't he, Mark Allen? So these early frames that Ding has won could, in the end, this afternoon, be very important indeed.
Thanks.
Ding also getting a hot drink of his own. It's that time of year, isn't it?
Thank you. The 4th frame. Mark Allen to break.
So Allen has to just focus now on trying to level up a 2-2. Started the match really well with that 67 in the opener.
Yeah, just on those couple of clearances that Ding has made. It's an asset that you need to have if you're ever going to be a top player. You can play a bit iffy, a bit edgy and not look great for a couple of frames. Then all of a sudden you get a 2 or 3 red clearance that's far from a given, and something kicks in, the concentration, whatever it is, you think, right, this is a moment. So he's did well, as Ding, to make those 2 clearances. Got to inject some pace into this because he's going to be half ball roughly, contact. Yeah, too thick. He's looked a wee bit vulnerable with that type of shot. I'm not saying it was easy, it was far from it. But a good quality safety shot from Mark has earned him a decent chance.
One. Six. Seven. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, in general, Allen has played well in this match. It's not like he's been missing sitters. He's missed really one ball in live play. So
40.
If he can put together a useful break and he's got the black on its spot in this frame, then 2-2 he would take right now at the interval. That's the thing, coming here, having won a tournament, there's no sort of concern about his game. You look at Neil Robertson, maybe the opposite's the case with him. He's struggling for results this season. You often hear it said a player's due a win, but you're only due a win if you win one. You're not guaranteed anything. It's been 4 years since Ding won a ranking event. It was this very tournament in 2019.
Yeah, it was the dawn of a new decade almost, wasn't it? That late in 19, you thought things going to kick on the way he won that final against Stephen Maguire. Was the Ding of old, but it hasn't materialised.
23.
Now, key shot. The most difficult cannon in the world, should be okay. Play this correctly, chance to win the frame for 2-2.
Third. $30. $36. $37. $39. $40.
Yeah, there's that pot success, 97%. You would expect by this stage he'd be well in front, but it's not always about missing balls. It's about the odd safety shot that's gone awry as well. Well, this is nasty now, the black going back on its spot.
Yeah, and the two frames that Ding has won so far will be playing in Mark's mind. Against some players, depending on the state of the match, he might play this red along the cushion, and he still might. But you don't want to lose 3 frames from well in front, and that's why I think wisely this time he's just playing back to balk. So a disappointing end to what looked a good chance. That's good play by Ding. Leave a tempter. Probably won't rush in and take it on because he doesn't have to, but leave it there. That's good play. It's good, you know, that match play thing you talk about. That's what that is. Just leave him it. Just in the off chance he plays it and you get a chance to win the frame. It's probably not going to happen. Yeah, Mark with good reason, not interested in it at all. Hasn't even looked at it yet. until now. He's having a think. Well, okay. Great effort, wasn't it? And you can't blame him for, you know, trying to be aggressive. He's a wee bit unlucky to leave the red. Now then. For the first time in this match, Mark is under proper pressure.
Yeah, just caught that near jaw. Looked like a good chance, 47 in front already to make it 2-2. Red to middle for Ding. Oh, just stays out. Well, it's only the first afternoon. It's already a little bit tense, a little bit edgy here. A few oohs and ahs from the crowd. See the red tried to go down the pocket.
Yeah, this is where he's going to need that famed bottle. I don't think he can leave the cue ball safe here. You've got to just play this all in, all the eggs in the basket. Yeah, brilliant pot.
Five. Six.
Well, you could argue he should be ahead at the interval, but right now he's just determined that he won't be behind.
It
was an engrossing final last year, and it's been similar really in the first round 12 months on. This red should be 2-2 and sets it up nicely for when the players return after the mid-session interval. Mark Allen was very proud to win this UK Championship for the first time last year. He does not want an early exit as he attempts to defend the title. Ding, of course, trying to re-establish himself in the top 16 and really just get his campaign off and running well and truly with what would be a big win if he could come through today. But right now, there's nothing to choose between them.
Mark Allen 30.
So, the 2023 UK Championship off and running with a rematch of last year's final, and at the interval, the two players cannot be split. Mark Allen, for a frame and a half, was well and truly on top. Ding stole frame 2 with a good 50 clearance to the black. He stole frame 3 with a good clearance to the pink. but Mark Allen, in bits and pieces, really took that fourth frame. It's 2-2, and the players will be back in 15 minutes. Remember, it's first to 6 to reach the last 16 here at the Barbican.
You've been keeping your beady eye on the match so far. What have you made of it?
Well, I don't quite know how Mark Allen's not in front, really. I mean, you know, the first frame, when you think about it, he won it easily. Ding didn't look very well. Next frame, he looks like he's going to go 2-0 up. And then next thing, it's 2-1 to Ding. So he's kind of gone against the run of play a little bit. He's pinched 2 frames in a row. And he looks a little bit more chipper now than he did at the start. Cause I mean, he's over there on the practice table, but he wasn't looking 100%, was he, at the start, you know?
It's good to see him back and back in frame 1-1. That kind of could have gone either way.
Yeah, frame 1, I think Mark Allen won pretty easy, didn't he? And Ding stole a frame there to get back in the game. But yeah, I mean, this was the first red here. I mean, you don't know the white's going in off there. You're hoping maybe for a glance off the yellow or something, you know. He's just committed to the pot. But this was a really good long pot, you know. Following it through, coming up for the blue. Nice chance for him to get in amongst the balls here. Plays his black, not the greatest of angle to go into the pack. Very fortunate, I think, in the end, really, for that red to knuckle there and leave him a shot on it, you know. Good split, but it was a bad positional shot on the red to the black. So he got a bit lucky there, really, in many ways.
Neil, coming into this, we were talking about the idea of what would Ding's mental state be in terms of having the history and the wounds that he had a year ago. He responded very well in that second frame. He did.
He pinched it a little bit because, again, as I say, Mark looked like he was going to extend his lead, and I was a bit concerned about Ding, but, you know, he ended up coming back into it well to win it. He needed to win this frame as it happens. You felt that the match might just go against him, but he made a safety error here, Mark. Ding hadn't really done much, but one thing, he did very well to win it. He cut that red down the left cushion, which we're going to see in a minute. This one, which I didn't think he'd miss it, but the good thing about Ding, he does give these shots every chance, plays it as slowly as he can. And all of a sudden now, you know, once his black's gone in, he feels in the match, because I don't know how he was operating at the beginning, you know, and he disappeared for quite a while after that frame, I noticed, and regrouped, and as I say, and it was, OK, it's a best of 11, but he did need to get a frame on the board, I think.
There was a crucial turning point in frame 3-1 with that missed safety from Allen that, again, if he gets it, it could be a different ballgame altogether.
Yeah, you know, this is match snooker, though, so a lot of the time, you know, it's the little turning points, and this was kind of a bit unlucky. It can happen, but if it's the other side of the red, probably doesn't leave him, so that's probably the worst side of the red to hit. But Ding still had to pot this red, you know, under pressure. They're not easy down the cushion. You know, hitting it at force, he had to kind of bring the white over enough to be able to pot the black and get up for the yellow. So, and he done that very well. And then this pink here, pots this. So yeah, he stole 2 frames, but match snooker, that's what you got to do. You got to pinch frames that you shouldn't win, and he's done that. So, you know, like I say, you know, they're probably more important frames to win than 100 breaks, you know.
Neil, there's a fairly uncharacteristic miss from Allen in terms of the red to the bottom right that Ding then took advantage of. You mentioned, obviously, Allen might be gutted to not be in the lead. Possibly that was an example.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, he didn't hit this one very well. I mean, you know, he got the balance completely right in the Champion of Champions, you know, between the safety game, which he's now got, on the attack, and his close control was good. But, you know, I suppose, you know, you can argue that was unlucky not to go in. I mean, he went all round the middle pocket, and normally very good in the middle pockets, and then Mark did what he had to do. You know, got the frame 1. It is an odd scoreline to me. It doesn't feel like a 2-2 scoreline, really. I think that Mark looks more confident, but that's the scoreline we've got, you know, and it's a tough game for both of them, you know, because Ding actually, you know, he wants to get back in the 16. Provisionally, he is 16. Tom Ford, if he wins his first match, will go in front of him. And the cut-off after this for the Masters, so it's quite important. This tournament's big, but all the rest of it's important as well, you know, with the Masters coming up.
Absolutely right. Tom Ford actually is playing this evening. He was practising earlier on just behind us there. Ding, however, straight after that match, after the mini-session, is now practising behind us here because there's a lot on the line. Both tables currently level pegging. Mark Allen, Ding Junhui, 2 frames.
Well, it's pretty lively here in the foyer, and 2-2. What a match we have on our hands, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's Mark Allen's been all over Ding, really. We know Ding's not feeling too great, but he went 2-1 up, and he had a chance there to counteract and go 3-1 up. Didn't take it. Mark Allen's 2 each. I think Mark Allen looks the stronger of the two.
Okay, and you were saying that Ding's friend showed you that his temperature was, what, 39 or something?
Yeah, he's not feeling too good. He's struggling a bit. You can see out there, you know, it's quite difficult to play any sport when you got flu. So
what is it like? Have you ever been in that situation that you've been feeling just so bad?
Well, actually, Dennis Taylor, he won the Canadian Championship, and he was so ill, and he was just going basically from his room to the match table and back to his room, and he played for me the best snooker of his life.
Wow.
And so, you know, I don't know, but, you know, it's not really... Sometimes when you've got flu, you just sort of like just try and push forward, but it's not a great thing to have for sure, playing snooker.
Absolutely,
you know.
or anything else either.
No.
And in terms of Ding Junhui, I mean, his body language very early in the match, you're thinking, oh, I don't fancy him for this. But suddenly he's in the match. He took the second frame, and you mentioned Mark Allen, he was bossing the match, but 2-2, he's got to be happy with that.
He's got to be happy with that, but the only problem is that he's only 2 each because Mark Allen has made a few unforced errors, which he's not been doing in the last few months. So, you know, I have to say, I do think that Mark Allen will win this match.
Well, it's brilliant that you can enjoy all the action at home with us here on Eurosport Discovery Plus. But what a day to have a ticket, and it's a fantastic venue. You can just see all of the spectators milling about, all of the fans.
Yo,
just
Tom.
So excited.
How are you, my man? Sorry, excuse me.
And your friend Tom is there as well?
Tom's here. He loves the snooker, goes to all the matches, and yeah, it's great. You know, it's such a great tournament, the UK Championships. You know, all the spectators love to come to the Barbican and watch great snooker.
Indeed, and we're very lucky to have a real slice of the action. So finally, who's going to make it through to the next round then, Ding or Allen?
You know, I'll be surprised if Ding wins. He'll have to produce some magic.
Okay, good stuff. You go enjoy the fans. You'll be mobbed now, won't you?
You're the one who gets mobbed, Rachel.
Thanks to Jimmy. Back to you guys.
There's a reason Jimmy White is the people's champion. James Warren White can't go anywhere, but he'll be the UK snooker champion at the end of next week. Currently 2 apiece. Mark Allen, Ding Junhui. For Jimmy, he feels that it's going to be Mark that's potentially going to win this one. But pot success, Mark Allen 96%. Interestingly, Neil, not that it matters that much, but highest break of 67, not really getting under steam just yet.
No, he's not winning frames, you know, necessarily in one visit. I mean, the pot success, massive difference for the score 2 each, isn't it? 14%, you know, so... yeah, as I say, I think we all agree that, and you heard Jimmy saying the same, that, you know, the 2-2 scoreline is one that Ding will be happy with, I guess. Not in the run. We just always like to check, you know, just who's in there. But I mean,
you're very good at that, Neil.
Well, you've got to do it, haven't you? But yeah, he's 2-2, but he's probably going to have to play a bit better to win the match. But, you know, ultimately he's in good form, Ding, you know. Whether he's feeling well or not is another matter, because he's won his qualifiers, you know, he's been playing OK.
And as Neil said, there is a lot on the line in terms of ranking, which will affect Masters and will obviously affect prize money naturally. But it's not necessarily just about one match. There's a broader picture as well, especially for Ding.
Yeah, I think Ding will be less bothered by that than Tom Ford. I know Tom's been sitting here looking, saying if Ding loses and I'll win and this happens and that. He's worked it all out already, do you know what I mean? All the permutations, because obviously he wants to be at the Masters. I don't know if he's ever played there before. Ding's been there, won it, done it. So he's probably not really bothered about it. He'd like to be there, but it wouldn't be playing on his mind. I don't think Ding will be thinking about that during this match. You know?
Well, the players look like they've got out there already, so let's hand back to our commentary team of Alan McManus and Dave Hendon.
So the players have had their 15-minute break and we're underway again. 2-2, Ding with 2 real steals, a black ball and a pink ball win. Mark Allen either side dominated the 2 frames that he won. So it's effectively now best of 7. It's traditional now in a lot of tournaments for the defending champion to kick us off, and I guess it does put a bit more pressure on. You know, it's the first match, the tournament's just starting, and there's a lot of expectation on you. I'm sure when Alan saw the draw, he wasn't exactly punching the air, but he's played well overall without quite closing out those 2nd and 3rd frames when he had the chance. total points. It tells its own story. He's 130 in front, Alan. It's kind of almost a couple of frames, but of course it was the two close ones he lost that made the difference.
Yeah, Snowden in the trade is a good Baden. Good shot, good cue ball. But as ever, you never quite know where the Reds are going to finish. And that is as bad as it could have been. Comfortable starter for Ding.
One. Six.
Now, every chance of getting that black on its spot. I think he's just calculating, obviously the pink spot is covered, so if he goes red-pink here, that will go on the black spot, if he wants it.
7.
I think there's no doubt if Ding can find his scoring boots, Alan's got problems. So far, that 50 clearance in frame 2, Ding's best break.
Is he playing this with lots of right-hand side cushion first and flick the red? Yeah, it's gone wrong.
30.
Now the black looks on, but it's thinner in real time or real play, if you know what I mean. It's one of those, it's nasty with the rest. And he can't bail out with his cue ball, so he takes this on, which it looks like he is. It's got to go. Dead weight.
Thank you, Ding. Thank you. Ding Junhui. 30.
Yeah, and that was just a horrible attempt, wasn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, barely made half the journey.
So Allen gets the chance to get the black back on its spot. Yeah, he did the positive thing trying to get on the black in the first place, but as you say, it was just a nasty old shot he left himself.
Yeah, clever shot there, trying to make something happen. Of course, the black itself is not tied up, but it's not on, so thought better try to make inroads with the pink. And this is now a terrific chance.
Yes, he said in the interview before play that he's not really a sort of student of the history of the game, but only 3 players have ever defended this title: Steve Davis, Stephen Hendry and Ronnie O'Sullivan. So I suspect that's a list Mark Allen would quite like to join. That's about as elite a pantheon as you can get. Just a bit of noise in the background because the other matches come to the interval, but I'm sure it's different this year. The sort of wall that we see at the Crucible is here this year. I'm sure last year there was just a sort of smaller wall. You could see what was happening on the other table, so there'd be less disturbance. There'd be a bit of noise, but the people leaving for drinks and so on won't be in Allen's eye line so much.
21. $22. Quiet as you can, please. 28.
Of course, we'll find out over the next 4 days of this first round whether we'll get quite a few upsets, or upsets on paper anyway, but I don't think there's going to be that many, just simply because of the fact that it's the round of 32. It's got that feel about it, you know, guys who don't play until Tuesday, like John Higgins, won't even be here until probably Monday. So there's only a few players around the venue itself, and it feels a bigger occasion each match. Usually at the UK, down in recent years anyway, there's a lot of hubbub going on in the players' room and backstage. Not so this year. So every match, I think, as a consequence of that, feels like quite a big occasion. Of course, the big occasion, the big players come out to play.
That's the thing about the Roll of Honour. You look back at the previous winners, there's very few shock winners of this UK Championship.
42.
Probably less so than actually the World Championship.
43.
People will remember Doug Mountjoy in 1988. He was sort of falling down the rankings, but he was a former winner of the tournament. Anyway, fast forward a mere 35 years, Mark Allen with a chance here to make it 3-2.
Yeah, another sign there, the fact that it looks like his
49.
His cue ball is back under the sort of control that we're used to seeing from him. This has been pinpoint. Handy lead, more than handy, 36, so... And here's the mistake by Ding. Made only half the journey. So, this black, another red black. He'll be back in front. Defending champion.
$57. $58.
Yes, the black. And Ding needs a snooker. We've seen in the last year the resolve that Mark Allen has. He lost a couple of tough frames in this match, 65. But there was no reaction from him. Just accepted it. Didn't like it, but accepted it, and we move on. In general, his game is good. He's won the last tournament. Champion of Champions in Bolton.
66.
He said he felt a little bit lost. His one of his long-time associates and former coaches, Joe Short, had passed away, hit him hard. And another much trusted friend and guide, Terry Griffiths, not in the best of health either.
73.
Mark can't consult with him right now, so he's been just looking to kind of get going again this season after the glorious campaign he had last year. And of course, he's done that now. He's won a tournament, and that makes him very dangerous.
$80. $80.
This is good stuff. He has a chance to now make the first century of the final stages this year. We had 80 in qualifying.
$86. $88.
Remember, he had 6 in the final last year. Ding made 4. Mark Allen here 2.
$91.
And for this tournament alone, if you look at the all-time century break makers, Ding is in 6th place, Mark Allen 7th with 63. So they've made plenty over the years. Surely going to be another one here. Mark Allen coming out after the interval and stepping it up.
100.
It's like he's saying to Ding, right, the bar's been raised, you're going to have to stick with me now. $106 from Mark Allen, the first century in York this year. He moves back in front against Ding Junhui at 3-2. 6 the target, remember, for victory. So Mark Allen has made his 17th century of the season, the first here in York this year, to lead Ding Junhui 3-2. Ding was in first, wasn't he? Just left with that nasty shot on the black. He got nowhere near the pot. And Mark Allen did the rest, 106. Lovely arena, this Barbican. First staged the UK Championship in 2001. They had to take a break. They refurbished the building in the sort of mid part of that decade, but we came back here, and it's whenever anyone says, oh, I've qualified for York, they talk about the city as much as they do the actual venue. It's just a lovely part of the world. But of course they all want to be here a week tomorrow in the final.
Thank you. Mark Allen to break.
Mark Allen then leads 3-2.
It's unlike Mark to play quite a sloppy break-off. Ding, one break of 50 so far to show for his efforts.
1.
Yeah, good red, good pot. But just to say again, he's looked a little sort of unconvincing when he's been in sort of close. That's better. 2 good shots to get the frame underway from his side. That's better.
6. 7.
But his cue ball has just let him down again. Just top side of straight. The Devil's own job to get on the next red.
$40. $50.
Okay, cannon the right hand wing ball. If you drift past it, you might be still on one. He's still on one just about, but it's going to be a thin cut.
22. $23. Rambo.
It's disappointing, isn't it? Eventually, he just lost his way. It wasn't the best last shot he played either, really. So you could see the disappointment from Ding there.
Quiet as possible, please.
Yeah, it was a quality safety shot.
Quiet, please. There's still a match on this side.
Yeah, Rob Spencer rather forcefully just reminding the spectators coming back in on the other side to just be as quiet as they can. It's a good problem to have, though. It's packed here and people are taking their seats again on the other side. A lot of talk about the format, you know, did change, as Mark Allen himself said. He preferred the best of 17s. I think players do generally, but of course, if you look around, the reason they're able to earn this money is the audience, and if the audience want to see finishes, then this format obviously suits them.
Yeah, so obviously no reds near a cushion. He has the 2 cushion escape. He's got to be mindful, though, of leaving a free ball. He's not playing the single red, he's playing the line. Sorry, my mistake. He is, but
foul.
Playing the single red, it's obviously a very small target, so he could be here for a few shots. I suppose the good news, the shot he is playing is unlikely to leave a free ball behind yellow.
Mark.
Can you just check it?
Yeah, of course we can, yeah. Can we check it, does it? Yeah, thank you. I think you could hit the brown full ball.
He's asked to check with Deshislava Boshalova, who's on the marker's desk with the freeze frame
half
technology.
ball this way and towards the cushion, diagonal. Half ball diagonal that way, towards the cushion. Just a touch towards the cushion. Yeah.
Okay. Mark?
Yeah, that was done with the minimum of fuss.
Foul and a miss. Ping Junhui 4. Yeah. Mark. Yeah, ding. Foul and a miss. Ding Junhui 4.
Well, the free ball, but it won't be taken. It'll just be play from there, please. Probably. The only thing, it's the escape's easier from, back to where it was originally, I think, is the call.
Oh, it was off, because I think it was actually on his spot then. I think it's off his spot, ever so slightly. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Mark. Yeah. Yeah. Ding? Yeah, thank you. Foul and a miss.
Obviously, he's just trying to glance off the red. Well, look at that. Try doing that
Junhui
twice in
4.
a row. It's
Free
exactly
ball.
what he's done.
Back.
Sort of seeing the funny side kind of through gritted teeth, I think. 16 points. He doesn't want to leave a red on, so he'll accept giving points away.
Oh,
Ding
okay.
is accepting those points in return. 5th attempt, this.
Foul and a miss. Ding Junhui 4. Back. Yeah.
Not anywhere near the record yet, which is held, if that's the word, by Stuart Bingham. 16 misses in a row. In a frame, he actually won, eventually, with a big break.
Yeah. No? Let's check it again. So I can get Desi to bring it up, yeah. No, she'll have it from the first one, yeah.
Half ball this way.
That way, yeah. Yeah, no, it's all right. It's okay.
Tiniest touch more this way. Yep,
Okay.
perfect.
Yeah, ding. Thanks. Thank you, Desi.
Change of plan, it would seem.
Yeah, nice piece of improv, wasn't it? That's quite a decent result. I just do not understand. How can he take that red on? No guarantee of getting on the black. The pot's about a 1 in maybe 3. I'm astonished at that. Honestly, that is such a tough shot to play in any circumstances. You wouldn't play that in practice.
One.
Yeah, that was close to staying out. He stayed right down here, didn't he? Just shaved the jaw.
Yeah, that shot that Ding took on, I'm sure Mark would have been sitting in the chair thinking, sort of looking, thinking, what shot is he playing here? Because he would have seen the leave and he would have gone back to his own chair thinking, well, I've had a result here because all he's got is a sort of defensive safety shot, but I don't even think that there was nothing to do with aggression with that shot. It was almost a kind of half, not giving up, but just a shot that you can't play.
I
mean, it's a wee bit different if the cue ball's not going to can another reds and it's a natural path onto a colour. You think, right, okay, but it was far from guaranteed being on the black. That was terrific. He knew that topping it through, he wasn't going to get the cue ball anywhere, so he took a bit of a gamble. Blue, potentially black waiting. So if this goes in, it should be a decent chance to win the frame. He's in control at the moment as Mark, and Ding has lost his way, I'm afraid.
Yeah, if it comes down to who's prepared to really sort of get into the weeds and tough it out, then you've got to fancy Allen, and I think we've seen that in this frame.
22.
But we also know he's scoring, he's just made a century, and it's in his hands to make another frame-winning break here, and maybe just now making his move in this contest.
$30. 30.
Yeah, the other thing, just again going back to that shot that Ding took on, it sort of tells Mark that at least he'll read it this way. He'll think, Ding doesn't fancy this. That's the way he'll see it. For once, his cue ball lets him down. Badly.
38.
Yeah, he shouldn't have needed it, but what a recovery.
Yeah, a couple of shots ago when he lost ideal position, I was watching him, there wasn't a flicker of reaction at all. He didn't, you know, some players would have stood there looking at the heavens, looking at anything, blaming something else. He just, okay, not on the red ideally, but I'm going to pot it anyway. We carry on.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you. 45. $52. 53. $60. Mark Allen, 60.
So, the break ends at 60. Now, he's already lost 2 frames in this match that he will have felt he should have won. Ding stole them with good clearances, because there's only 17 points in it with all the fouls that went on earlier.
Yeah, just at the moment, I just think that Ding is... It's not a bad thing sometimes to be prepared to go out on your shield. But I do think some of the shots that Ding is taking on are from frustration rather than optimism or aggression. And Mark will be quite happy to see that, because he can keep Ding pinned in here. And this is all sorts of trouble, this safety shot. And it's a frame he badly needs to win, because the way he's played today, 4-2 behind against the man of the moment, would be a big ask. Now here's a half chance. Let's see the pace that he plays it. You would think he'd play the cue ball in behind the black. That's the percentage play. Does he hang pace off, fancying the pot and position? Yeah, he hung the pace off. And he's got his reward. Terrific shot. One good positional shot here. I think we have a new favourite to pinch another. But he's so out of touch, it's unbelievable, honestly. That's a shot, yes, you want to be on the open red of the two, but on balance, you overplay the cue ball because you know you've got the one near the baulk cushion. He's underhit that by probably a couple of feet, and it was a natural with nothing to do with the cue ball. More worrying signs.
Ding Junhui. 7.
I mean, Ding in his pomp there, when he lands on the pink, you can forget it. You just rack him, because he would never make that mistake.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah, it's another good one from Alan. Snooker and Ding on both reds.
Foul.
Wow.
Ding Junhui 4.
Well, obviously catching the blue was not intentional, but to make contact like that, so he's gone in off. Completely unexpected. He was in control of this frame, he was going along nicely on a break of 60, just left himself slightly awkward on a red to the right middle, which he missed.
What does Ding play here? Does he go full-blooded and hold for bulk colour? Or hedge bets and come down this end? He should be holding it. Yeah, well played.
1.
Again, under normal circumstances here, you'd think just rack him up because he'd make no mistake, but nothing's certain, not the way he's played this afternoon.
5.
I hate to say it, but he's all over the place at the moment, is Ding. I mean, how far did he miss this by with nothing to do with the cue ball?
What?
Yes, you heard the loud groan from the crowd, and you can see Ding not in a good place there, back in his seat. It's up to Mark Allen to really rub it in, though, by now taking the frame out. Feels like the critical juncture in the afternoon so far, this.
Four. 6. 9.
Yeah, got to be honest again. I mean, we're all huge fans of Ding. Not least of all the two guys sat in this commentary booth, but at the moment, he's just not with it. He's not there at all. He's not even in this match. The way he's playing is absolutely no chance.
13.
He's had plenty of chances, but he simply is not equipped to take them at the moment. And this straightforward blue should be 4-2.
18.
So for the first time, there'll be 2 frames between the players. Mark Allen on another day could certainly have lost this one. Ding's got to somehow recover, though, from
24.
what was a couple of really good chances he'd earned to level up. Mark Allen just 2 now from a place in the last 16, leading 4-2. Big frame this, as he tries to stay in touch. 4-2 to Allen.
Thanks, gents.
It's funny, this game, when you're out of touch and no confidence, the game sort of throws shots at you, the most horrible ones, this being one of them, pretty much dead straight.
Well, those numbers there, the frame scores, they tell you that the 2 frames Ding won, of course, were very close. Yeah, very nicely done. So he's in again.
Yeah, the other thing, I'm not saying this, I'm not saying it's the case at the moment, but so many professional snooker players will recognise what I'm going to say here, and they've probably all been there. As sometimes, again, I'm not saying this is the case with Ding at the moment, but you can be in a time and a place out there where you almost don't want to get a simple chance because the fear of making a hash of it again. Been there myself plenty of times, as a lot of professionals listening to this, they'll think the same thing. It's a horrible place to be, but at the moment, there's only one winner, and it's the fella at the table.
Yes, and he is a winner, Mark Allen. By the time he turned professional, he'd won every conceivable amateur title you can think of. Won his first 2 televised matches in his first event against Steve Davis and John Higgins. And he's won tournaments over the years, but it's the last year where he's become more consistent. He's in 4 finals last season, won 3. He's already won 1 this season. He's got that taste for winning. Doesn't want to just come good every couple of years. And he can still, of course, become world #1 at the end of this tournament. It's such a big money event. He would need to reach the final to stand a chance, but that is there as well. Not just at this event, but this season it could happen for him, and that would be a major achievement, because even the 2 great Northern Irish world champions, Dennis Taylor and Alex Higgins, did not get to the very top of the rankings.
24.
Yeah, terrific shot, wasn't it?
27.
Yeah, snooker players are never content, are they? Lands on nicely in 2 reds, goes the black's tied up. He's thinking, woe is me. Well, he's not really thinking that. It was a beautifully played shot, wasn't it? So I've got to try and get this cue ball spinning out of there somehow. Not this time. He wants that red to go in. Otherwise, he's got a problem.
28.
Yeah, scanning the table like Mark and answers on a postcard. What do you do here? Playing the yellow, the pot, I think. Doesn't have all the pocket, but he's no other outs.
Mark Allen, 28.
Yeah, can't blame him for that. No options, all out of moves he could make. Now, ding. The saloon doors are kind of swinging shut here. He's got to see if he can keep them open in some way. Got to put together a score.
One.
Okay, now, perfect on the red. Can play on pink, get it back on its spot.
Seven.
But why he didn't, I'm not quite sure, because it was a natural, as you can see there. Yes, it'll keep, but it sort of keeps the break a wee bit complicated.
Twelve. $13.
Yeah, again, he finishes short when long would have been the prize. Should get this.
$80. $90.
I honestly think he played on the pink there. I know that he knows he's got yellow and waiting, but if he did play in pink, he overhit it by 2 or 3 feet anyway. What's he got then?
21.
7 behind. Black out of commission, so he's going to need all reds to win the frame at this visit.
22. Pink ball, thank you. 28. 29. 35. 36.
Does he have designs on promoting the red-black off this shot? Yes, he does. But it's gone wrong.
42.
Still on the black, but far from certain where the next red comes from. Might be able to hold it. No, it's in and out of balk. Got to be careful of the in-off, the pocket that he's putting the black in, actually. If he plays it with a lot of pace, which obviously he hasn't done. So the big shot of the frame on the way. And it's not going to be easy. He's going to need the rest.
49. Thank you.
Yeah, what a shot. Fully committed. And he should clinch the frame now, no problem.
Well, he was sat between frames with his eyes closed, essentially not wanting to look at the snooker table or think about what had just happened, messing up the chance in the last frame. This is very impressive, the way he's come back here. He's shown his mettle at the right time.
58.
That was frame ball. It looked like this match was petering out, frankly. But Ding has shown steel here.
$65. 67.
Yeah, Mark Allen was left with that nasty shot on the yellow with the red over the pocket. Had to take one on, he didn't get it. He was wondering, as I'm sure everyone here at the Barbican was, okay, can Ding actually take advantage? Well, he has done.
74. 79.
So a really good 79 by far, Ding's highest break of the afternoon, and it keeps him well and truly in this match. Mark Allen still 2 from round 2 here at York, leading now only 4-3.
Thank you, the 8th frame. Mark Allen to break.
So Mark Allen was looking a good thing at 4-2. Ding was struggling, but Ding has dramatically got himself back into contention the way he won that 7th frame. Of course, it's Mark Allen, proudly from Northern Ireland. It's 40 years now since Alex Higgins won that dramatic 1983 UK final from 7-0 down. It was a two-day final in those days. 7-0 down to the great Steve Davis, won 16-15. One of many, many great memories from this wonderful tournament over nearly 5 decades now. Well, when he won the tournament here 4 years ago, Rachel Casey interviewed him and he said, Ding is back. And he's back in this match, isn't he? Suddenly he's knocking these in, looking much more confident.
Yeah, it's good to see knocking in that type of shot. Oh, just a wee bit quick there.
Junhui 1. One. Five. Six.
Disappointing positional shot there, looking for the low black. And this is no cinch because it's also a change of plan. Let's see then, the cushions have been quite soft with this type of shot, not that easy to get up. Top side of the blue, of course it's the pink in this occasion, or the plant. Black waiting, no problem with the cue ball, got to get the plant though. Yeah, nicely done.
13.
That was a lovely piece of cueing, that, wasn't it, to get the cue ball spitting back. So, towards him. Pink spot covered, that's no terrible thing either.
20.
So keep it out of harm's way at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's on the spot.
Yeah, Mark just asking Rob Spencer there, just to be sure, is the black on its spot? He's perfectly able to do that because it was the last shot that he played. He wouldn't be able to ask that question now.
$27.
But now play this one properly, top side of the pink. It should be a chance to go one from victory. Key shot this.
$28. $34. $35. $41. 42. Cheers, Mark. Thank you.
He's always been known for this close positional play. He always seems to be, you know, tight in behind the next ball. Ray Reardon once said that there's 22 balls on the snooker table. There's only one that actually counts, the white. If you can control that, then that's the key to all of it.
48.
And he would know because recently, he's 91, Ray, and just a couple of weeks ago, he made a century. Oh, another frame where he's got the lead and has not killed it off. He wasn't quite happy with position, but you still fancied him to pot that.
Yes, another potential twist in the tail.
What?
Oh, his cue ball just made it. Now he's perfect as far as access to the reds go. So one good positional shot here, and he should get right back in the frame at least. That's ideal.
5. $6.
Yeah, so the black clearly doesn't go, because if it did, he'd have played this pink by now. So he's having to work only off the pink, which gives him more than a few problems.
$12.
two reds by the pink there. The bottom one looks like it goes to this same right corner, but it's fashioning a nice angle on the pink to get there.
30, thank you.
Which obviously he can't, but he can play the disturb, so a little half-ball brush cannon on the top one of the two. Push it on, and he will be right back in this.
$90. $20.
Yeah, looking at the cannon on the two reds this time round, but he's not going to get a big piece of them, I don't think. So he's going to hold off for a couple of shots. But at least he's back in the frame, that's the key. The main thing, and he's in possession, he's a man at the table. And having played that nicely, it gives him a chance now of getting
26.
Well, decent on the pink. Not going to be easy. The other thing is, if he goes the two cushions, although it's a three-ball cluster there, it's actually a very small target of two cushions. Trying to keep it square off one then, bigger target this way. Great shot, great effort. Yeah, unlucky, but well played. It's been a good visit.
33.
You could see the disappointment as well. He's gone, I think, in this match from sort of not quite fancying it to seriously fancying his chances. He's got his teeth back into it. Oh, this is a big one. It's looking good. It's looking very good. What a shot from Ding. Played the white back to the cushion for safety, but he's on the black, of course.
Oh, this is a wages shot. This is where you earn your money. What a tough shot. Got to be red for the same pocket. Oh, it's a wonderful shot. The shot of the match under the circumstances, because now it should be 4-4.
41.
What an effort this has been. Didn't see this coming 20 minutes, half an hour ago, must be honest.
Yeah, and that lightning striking twice, it keeps on striking Mark Allen, doesn't it? Because another frame where he's been in front, another frame might be stolen from him.
$49.
Yeah, I must confess I had sort of given up the ghost a couple of frames ago as far as Ding's concerned, but the most important person hasn't is Ding himself. What an effort this has been.
$54.
Wonderful break. Just needs to close it out. He's 7 in front, so brown and blue need it. Mark Allen, you can see, arms folded. Can't quite believe the way this is turned around. He's had enough chances to win this match by now. But this is the ball that should make it 4-4. Another great steal. He's like a modern-day York Highwayman, isn't he, Ding Junhui here? This has been very impressive, these last two frames. Mark Allen missed again that red to right middle when he was in. One snooker required, 16 in it, 13 on.
63.
Otherwise, it's 4 each.
Yeah, still got to keep his wits about him here. I think the play here is actually send the pink down towards the black. Deciding on the corner, but well played. Can't get a snooker from here, just got to somehow get the pink safe. And of course, he just about gets one. An easy hit. In fact, I think he can actually see it no problem.
Yeah, it's always so difficult with just putting the black on the Ding's position. You're trying to sort of lag the pink over a pocket. Better still in a pocket. Well, let's be honest, we wanted a thriller, didn't we, to start our coverage, and that's what we've got now. It's going to be a best of 3, assuming Allen doesn't get this snooker on the pink. Things have turned against him, partly a couple of mistakes from him, but also Ding digging in very impressive fashion. Breaks of 79 and 63 in the last 2 were all square. 4-4.
Thank you. The 9th frame. Ding Junhui to break.
So Ding has got himself right back into contention. He's won the last 2. He's won them impressively. 4-4. And on the aggregate, Mark Allen is still around about 200 points in front, but that, of course, is not an aggregate score match. It just tells you that Ding's been winning the close frames.
Yeah, and Mark will be feeling different about things after that. The last couple of frames, all of a sudden, Ding looks very dangerous. Understandably, probably playing the overcut. Yeah, certainly wary.
Pat Wells there from World Snooker Tour, delivering the latest hot water to Ding. That kettle's been working overtime backstage. This is a match now really coming to the boil, isn't it? And as I say, Allen, from his perspective, it's the way Ding's won those frames. He's only needed one chance in each of them. It's not been scrapping it out. It's been, okay, I've missed, he's going to step in. So that will put him on notice to try and cut out any more errors.
Interesting this time, Ding's not interested in that long red. Not the time or the place, I don't think. I think it's a wise decision, this, but needs a good cue ball. And he hasn't got it. So, sort of shot here that you'd fancy Mark knocking in, but back to the wall. Awkward bridging. Yeah, terrific pot and terrific cue ball as well.
3. Four.
Well, this is where I think you really see the qualities of a player. It's not when things are going well, it's when you're in adversity, which I guess he is, having lost the last 2. Mark Allen is made of tough stuff. We know that. We saw it here last year when he had to come from 6-1 down.
11.
We've seen it already this season in Bolton at the Champion of Champions, which he won in fine style. And remember, it's 11 years since he lost his first match in the UK Championship, so he does not want to be going out on day 1 and to watch the rest of it at home, especially as defending champion.
90. $20. $25. $26.
Just seemed to have been a lot of frames today where he's got in and not quite made enough, and he clearly doesn't want this to be another one. So it's a big visit, this, for Allen. As he goes into them.
$33. $34.
Yeah, I may have looked a bit ungainly that one, but it was almost jumping up off the shot for fear of fouling something with the cue ball coming back up towards him. So looking good. He's taken these with the minimum of fuss as well, been in good style. And just a few shots away from going back in front.
$49. $50.
Yeah, that balance that we see a little screw shot into the pack, the balance we've been talking about that Mark's been searching for. He's been, I wouldn't say slow around the table trying to work openings, but when he gets into this kind of position where red's at his mercy, he picks up the pace all of a sudden. I think that's kind of what he's been looking for. He's always going to, you know, in a safety battle, he's always going to take some time and mind his work and be careful. But it's difficult when you're doing that to then get your chance like this and step it up a notch.
58.
But that's what he's doing. So black, red colour to secure this frame.
Yes, and you can see the concentration. He cannot afford to let Ding in with another chance to make another clearance. So 3 more pots then.
$65.
Yeah, there you see it. It's gone wrong. Let's end a break. Barring something extraordinary. Quite telling, actually. I mean, those 2 reds, just to the right of the pink, just below it and to the right, they both go to right middle, but he clearly didn't fancy them. So he played a precise positional shot, which has gone completely wrong. So it's just nestled the red onto the side cushion, and Ding's going to get at least a chance to get back in this.
65.
Yeah, another good break, but it's come to an end before Allen's won the frame, and that's the concern for him. He's seen this happen in this match. He's got the lead, hasn't quite killed the frame off. The danger is, if Ding does get in at some point, he could do it again.
All of a sudden. You see, I think a shot like that, it wasn't all that difficult, the return to baulk, but I think it's just born of the fact that Ding at the moment looks dangerous, and Mark knows it.
1. $8.
Yeah, nicely played. He had to play it with just a tracer right-hand side, just to square up the pot. It may have looked clumsy, that, but it wasn't. I think what we're seeing here, these last couple of frames, that I've said this before, there's never a player been born yet that if you don't lean, if you lean on them heavily enough, they will topple over eventually. You've just got to keep pressurising. And Ding, of course, been able to do that now that he's got his scoring boots on.
$17.
This is where his good cue ball control might just come in handy. It's going to be key here, off not this red, but the next one. If he can get just around straight on it.
25.
And he should be able to pick his spot on the colour that follows to lift the other one.
$31. 32.
Now, has he got a big enough piece of this thread in terms of the cannon? It looks pretty good. It looks about full ball. Direct cannon. Oh, that'll do lovely. What a shot that is, and it's just about cuttable.
It's happening again. Incredible. Another frame where Mark Allen's made the running. Can Ding Junhui once again steal it? He's given himself every chance getting on the last red.
39. $43.
What a transformation. I didn't think there was any chance of this. It was 4-2 to Mark. But you've got to hand it to Ding. He somehow has found his form, and his cue ball has now started behaving also. And he's looking cool.
$48. $52.
Get matches where one clearance can turn the tide, but in this, there's been several.
$57.
Ding has only led once at 2-1. But if he pots pink and black, he'll be one from victory at 5-4.
$63.
Yeah, you heard the crowd. It needed to keep coming. Okay, one more pot, Ding. Hold on. Is it in? Oh, it is. What a dramatic frame. A dramatic finish to the frame in a very dramatic match. He's stolen another one. Ding Junhui, 3 on the spin to lead 5-4.
Can you see?
So Mark Allen has had plenty of chances in the frames this afternoon to get the match won. He hasn't quite been closing them out. 65, it's a good break, but it wasn't quite enough. He then mishit a safety, and Ding once again stepped in, and we keep saying it's probably now the best clearance of the match after the previous best in the previous frame. 3 on the spin, excellent from Ding, and now it's Mark Allen trying to concentrate. He's got the eyes shut, just trying to focus on now, trying to firstly stay in this match by forcing a decider. There's been a big turnaround here.
Yeah, it's 2. And let's hope for Mark Allen's sake it is 2 frames to come. 2 of the biggest frames of his season, potentially. Yes, won the Champion of Champions in fine style. Demolished the field, actually. But, of course, it wasn't a ranking event. And he could seriously be doing with a few ranking points to get his season really up and running on that score. If he loses today, as we said at the start of this match, he'll struggle to get in the Grand Prix in the new year, just coming up after the Masters itself.
Yeah, it's worth explaining that Mark Allen, with the tiered system, if he loses his match, he gets no ranking points. He gets the money, but he gets no points. So it's an advantage to be seeded through, yes, but if you lose this match, it turns out to be a disadvantage. Just adds a bit of pressure.
Yeah, Ding's cue ball getting better all the time as he got cover with the brown. As far as the regular safety shot, he has. Oh, This is a nasty one. Whichever shot he decides to play here, it's quite a nasty one.
Quiet as possible, please.
Having a go at the pot with check side. Probably playing it on the thin side. Yeah, like that. Good shot. Good choice, actually. It was his only way back to baulk. Ding once again has that option of the long red, but he doesn't look interested. This might be a shot to nothing, or sorry, a plant to nothing. I'd be disappointed with that. Needs it to run badly. He's not the worst result.
Well, there's real rapt silence here from this audience. Absolutely captivated by this match. Mark Allen, 4-2, frankly looked the only man in it, but Ding, to his absolute credit, has worked his way back, and now it is Allen who's under pressure. You can sense it, you can see it, wary that one mistake potentially could end this match. And of course, with it, his title defence. So many of the stats favour him. Look at the pot success. 95% is excellent. But it's not just about missing balls, it's about not playing good safety. That has contributed a little bit to Ding turning it round. Total points still favouring him, even though he's a frame behind.
Foul.
Oh, wow.
And a miss.
Well, what an extraordinary shot that was. It's hit the blue, not the pink in.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of movement.
Yeah, you put that ding, yeah.
Yeah, Rob Spencer's going to have a job.
Ben, can you bring it up, please? I think pink's on the spot and blue's on the spot, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, the yellow also moved about 2 balls to the left as we see it.
How do the blue and pink look?
Ben Williams on the marker's desk now.
Pink's further up or further towards me, whichever it is until you look at it.
Further towards you? No.
Try towards Bork. Yep, pink's right, yep.
Blue's okay.
Blue's right, yellow across. Yep, that way. No, that way.
Yeah, I know, I can see. I'm just...
Sorry. The ball that way.
Hang on.
Yeah, as I say, the yellow moved about 2 ball widths to the left.
More. A little bit towards me. Yeah, that looks about right.
The trickiest one actually is going to be this cue ball, because it's clearly very tight whether Mark can get through to the red itself. He's obviously playing the pot.
How's that look cue ball wise?
A full ball towards Ding. A little bit further. Yeah, that looks about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark, have a look at that. No, I thought you could hit full ball, couldn't you? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, we're talking sort of just fractions by now, but they make a difference. Clearly. Mark Allen would be probably would know better than anyone in the room actually where this cue ball was, because he was playing the shot. He was right behind it.
Closer to the cushion.
This is right on it, so it's,
Yeah,
it's just marginal.
I looked at the side, Mark. I'm quite happy with that. You happy with that, yeah? Ding?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all fair. I mean, it's as good as you could expect, really. I think what we have to assume is that Mark could get through to the pot. He obviously just caught the thinnest of blue paint on the blue, so he may not fancy the same shot again. But if he does, I say, we can assume that he could get through to it. So here we go, take 2. And all in all, a great result. Yes, there's a shot to nothing potentially for Ding, but that was a good reply.
Well, I know one thing, if the 9 days are all going to be like this, it's going to be a dramatic tournament, but that's what we expect. Qualifiers had their own drama, but of course that was all about getting through to the main stage. This is now where you have to step up, and Ding has done that in the last 3 frames to pile the pressure on the Northern Irishman.
Yeah, crunching pot, wasn't it? It had to go. These players are always basically it's going to be disappointing not to be on a colour, but also grateful for small mercies that the fact that he's still at the table. The pink's not an option. I think he can get through to the pot, but it's not a shot you can play. No, but the cue ball's in, and the pink's going to be handy. Here's a big shot coming up for Ding. Massive shot coming up. He's played lovely the last 3 frames. Can he find a long red just when he needs it? Black waiting, pink waiting. Great pot.
What?
Oh, in the worst case possible. Yes, he's still on the pink with the rest, so it won't be easy. Yeah, the trouble is holding for a red. The softer you play this, the more difficult the pot. Playing it with deep drag, trying to keep the pace on the cue ball and then just ease it off as it meets the pink. No, a lovely shot. Very good.
So Ding has a chance to get it won. It didn't look likely about an hour ago. Something about this UK Championship, though, that he likes. 3 titles. He's been runner-up, of course, last year as well.
Thanks, Ding. 8.
Yeah, it's clearly tight. The good news is the natural way of playing it is with a bit of helping side, right-hand side, just to throw the pot in. Now it's a genuine chance to win the match. This is as good as it gets. Plenty reds in the open.
15.
Yeah, when he went 4-2 down, between frames, he had his eyes shut. He looked, frankly, fed up. But it says a lot about him that when he got the chance in frame 7, he took it. He made 79, he made a 63 clearance in the 8th, he made a 70 clearance in the 9th. In this frame, he's the man in front. It's in his hands to get it won here.
$24.
Yeah, and from a neutral point of view, which we try to be, it's good to see, because probably but there's always a miss in there. Ding. Wow.
24.
He was down in the shot a wee bit longer. It was as if he couldn't make up his mind whether to punch stun it or sort of drag it in. In the end, he sort of dragged it and dragged the black to the near jaw. Just going to say, I've been probably Ding's biggest critic the last 2 or 3 years. But wow.
What
a chance that was.
How quickly the emotions shift in this sport. Ding on a high now. In a low in his chair. Mark Allen must have feared the worst, having played pretty well overall this afternoon, looking to extend his title defence. Might have thought it was over. Now he's the man with the chance to potentially take us the distance.
9.
Yeah, just the odd minor detail with Ding, that's all it is. Just the odd poor shot here and there. He was down on it for quite a long time, as I say, couldn't make his mind up. And indecision, I think, is going to cost them.
$50. $16.
It's almost a classic example, that thing we say a lot. You've got to be in your chair, prepared and waiting and ready and expecting
23.
the chance. And when it comes along, I'm going to jump all over it.
24. $31.
Yeah, so 4 points behind. 5 red blacks are 40. Let's put them 36 in front with 1 red left.
32.
I know that's all easy. It sounds easy, doesn't it? Me sitting here and talking it, but that'll be the target. 5 blacks to not need the last red.
$39.
Well, a blizzard of stats on the screen, but all eyes are on Mark Allen. So one more frame needed to find the winner of this match. For the record in the UK Championship, Mark Allen has won 11 out of 14 deciders. Ding has won 5 out of 9. Who's going to win this one? Well, Ding, it didn't look like it would be here, did it? A couple of hours ago, he was 4-2 down. He pulled out 3 terrific clearances in a row to lead 5-4. Mark Allen, though, with that very solid 70 in the end, did hang on. The wall is up, as you can see, so the people on the other side who waited after the Mark Williams match will get to see this last frame. It's when this came out, when they were drawn out, obviously there was a bit of spice because they were in the final last year, but regardless of that, it was always looked a good match, and that's what it's turned into. And it's a blockbusting start for everyone here at the Barbican and everyone watching around the world. Ding, of course, has many fans in China. Mark Allen has become a very popular pro in his own right. He wouldn't want to call it right now, I don't think. Just waiting for Allen to return to see if he can keep his defence on track. Ding has fought hard, and that's been important. That's why it's still going. He's dug in. He's kept the belief. Has to now, of course, keep it for one more frame. And then it won't be too long until we're back for the evening session. And it's Karen Wilson, Jamie Clark on the main table tonight. 8:45 CET, 7:45 in the UK for the build-up with Rancy and the guys in the studio. Ding just trying to keep himself focused here. Ahead of one more frame. The other match tonight, myself and Alan on Discovery Plus will be talking you through Tom Ford against Noppen Senkam. Ford's first match as a member of the top 16. It might be his last for a while. He'll need to win it to get those ranking points and stay on track for the Masters. 7 o'clock UK time, that is.
Yeah, terrific match that'll be for us tonight. Yeah, Tom Ford. It's not fair, that, is it, really? I mean, if, he can still win tonight. He can win the tournament, but if he was to lose, of course, back out of the top 16, not really fair, is it? He should be. It's not like back in my day when you held your ranking for a full season. But back he comes then. Mark Allen ready for the final battle.
The handshake before the decider. It's been a thrilling start to the UK Championship, and one more frame remains. Mark Allen 5, Ding Junhui 5. Everyone's settling down for the decider.
Oh, the half-ball kiss has saved them.
Touching ball.
Yeah, second prize, I guess, for Ding, but that red, as it just nestled towards the pack of reds, if it catches it full ball, Ding has a sitter and a good chance. As it is, nothing doing. Now, it looks obviously like he doesn't have any sort of direct shot at a red. And if he doesn't, there's no obvious path into resting on the cluster of reds. He's in a bit of trouble here, Mark. More than a bit of trouble, I'd suggest. So 2 cushions, just trying to rest on the southern edge of them. Yeah, well played. Sometimes in deciders, the trouble can be, and not suggesting it is with these two class players, but you can sort of go into your bunker in some way and think, over my dead body, am I giving you a chance? The problem with that is you don't take any risks yourself. You try to be a bit too careful and a bit certain about everything. Quality. That is quality.
Yeah, well, his safety is rated at 91% success-wise this afternoon. Allen at 69. So on that score, Ding has been the better player. Good time, though, to pull one out like that, isn't it? At the start of the decider.
Round the back of it's no good. Oh, we just got enough of it. Mark's Hart would have skipped a beat or two there. He would have been worried about thinning that red, leaving a sitter. Now, has he got the pot here? Looks like it. The single red on its own. Shot to nothing. Ah, dig. Tremendous dig.
Five. Six.
Well, part one in any decider is try and earn yourself the chance, which he's done. Part two is take it. There's been a lot of frames this afternoon where Allen has been very close to wrapping them up and not quite done it. Boy, would he love just an 80 here to get it won.
$40. 21. 22.
absolutely perfect. Should still be okay, but
29.
if he plays the straighter red of the two, he's got to get the cue ball going towards that side cushion, just marginally. See, it's stuck on it. It's still okay, but for a lefty, it's a bit awkward, this. Not a certainty. Only good news is he's put everything into the pot with the red waiting. Yeah, nicely done.
$37.
Sign of confidence taking this round. Yes, he should get it, but it opens things up. The two next to it. Oh, but wow! Has he got cover?
37.
I don't think so. Where did that come from?
That was his chance. This is Ding's. Will Mark Allen get another? It's been the sort of afternoon he's just not been killing frames off. He seems to have missed a few to the middles as well. It's been, as ever, chat about pockets. These are not generous, these middles. Still unexpected, though.
No, dang, it's gone wrong. That's probably end of break. It's still cuttable, maybe, but
8.
I just don't think he can play it. Not at this stage. Perhaps he can, but this is a risk. Unsure about the cue ball as well. Oh, brilliant pot. And a bonus, perfectly on the blue. They're all there for him.
Well, he got his reward there for bravery. And he's still going. I'm not sure Ding would see victory today necessarily as revenge for last year. There's no trophy available today as we see the shot again, but it would be satisfying, make no mistake, after what happened last year.
15.
Yeah, just marginally overscrewed that. Just needs to steady himself here, keep the head still in this one. Half ball, half blind. Well played.
$21. $22.
Well, this now a serious chance for a player who, trailing 4-2, didn't seem to have much of a chance the way it was going. But it's a reminder just what a great player he is. We don't see it all season long these days, but when he turns it on, Ding is still formidable.
30. $37. 38.
And all of a sudden his cue ball looks pristine. There There it is again, close proximity to the red. That's 2 shots in a row. That type of shot landed absolutely on a button.
45.
This should be a done deal, even under the pressure, and there's lots of it. But for a player of Ding's class, this is a virtual certain put away.
Yes, and regardless of the vagaries of form, there's no doubt he was the one player the top 16 wanted to avoid when that draw was made. He had to draw someone. It was Mark Allen once again here in York.
54.
Whose title defence now hanging by a thread. And there's nothing he can do other than hope Ding somehow goes wrong in the next minute.
$61.
He needs the 2 reds.
62.
Bought the T-shirt and everything in between, but a man who's won the UK title 3 times, Ding Junhui. Ding, you made it tense for us. It was very nerve-wracking to watch. How was it for you?
Feeling okay to play. My body doesn't quite good. Totally without the pressure. Just try to make a point and try to play good today.
We were impressed at how you battled through that. You were clearly unwell. What seems to be the issue, health-wise?
I don't know what happened because when I played qualifier, I was feeling okay, and after that, I was lay on bed for 2 days. That doesn't do anything. So I was thinking about walk over this time, but I think I might try to play.
With somebody of your experience, obviously you've won so much, you've accomplished so much. When you saw the draw and you knew that you'd had the defending champion, what went through your mind? Were you at all bothered?
Not too much. Maybe not bothered.
I think in Leicester, in your qualifying matches, you made quite a few centuries in one of the matches, so your game's in good shape. And I think that game when you were 65 behind and you cleared up, that put you back in the match. But the first 4 frames, you were struggling a bit. And Mark Allen looked like he was going to get the lead, so it was a good win in the end.
Yes, yeah. At the start, couldn't see the balls. Even see the black. I cut the black with the rest. I couldn't see the ball at all. So.
Wow. Yeah. I think considering how he feels, that's an amazing win.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's like to fight and come through that. It's brilliant. I mean, we've all not been well playing, and it's really difficult. You know, you can see Ding wasn't his usual self, but to win a game like that, you must be very happy to come through that. You can have a rest now, can't you? And
yeah, at least I get a rest and get a quickest back as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You play Tom Ford now.
Okay.
If he beats Nopon.
Okay.
And the race for the 16 in the Masters is very close, so extra interest in the match.
Yeah, no.
Bit more buzzing for that.
You like it here in York, though, don't you? You like this tournament. You like this area.
I like so much.
It's your favourite tournament, yeah?
My favourite, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we want Ding in the tournament because he loves it here, and we love seeing Ding play well. So.
And just what is it you love about it so much? Because a 3 times UK champion, there are not many people that can say that. It's a handful of men in the history of the game.
I don't know. Every time I play UK Championship, I playing good. I can feel good. The venue is nice. I think the venue is luck to me. So.
Well, whatever it is, it's working for you. Ding, congratulations through to the second round, and this man has created the first big headline of the tournament so far. The defending champion Mark Allen is out. The 3 times champion Ding Junhui safely through. Could it be a 4th title? There's only one way to find out, and that's